to get to Gibraltar as well. So there's a lot of things just piling in on top of everybody at last minute. But we just need to get started and get stuck into this race. Well, the fact that the first leg, it has everything in it. We'll have upwind, we'll have running, reaching, light air, heavy air. We have absolutely everything. So we're going to have a really good picture on where our strengths and weaknesses are in relation to the rest of the field. We know where we think we're strong, but we just don't know enough about the opposition. Yeah, we've been ready for a while, and that's kind of it's almost been a problem. We could have gone and started this probably a month ago in comfort, but we've managed to do a lot of fine tuning towards the end. We are absolutely 100% ready to start this race.
No, we're ready to go. We're even though it's only been a short, sharp campaign, only 3 months, we're ready to go and looking forward to getting into it. Yeah, it is tough for some reason leaving, and even as professional sailors we often leave for 3 weeks at a time, but for some reason kicking off the dock for the Volvo just hits you a bit harder, and I think it's just the build-up, all the anxiety, the tension, ready to get into it. When the forecast is tough as it is for the next 48 hours, 24 hours of a lot of breeze and then some pretty light and shifty stuff, it is tough to get into the rhythm. Also, the fact we've got 320 odd miles to get out of the Med, that adds to quite a lot to it. If you were starting somewhere simpler, you'd be able to get into your stride a little bit sooner. But no, we've got a couple of days before we're going to be able to settle in. Historically, the boat that's won the first leg has gone on to win the race. I think that's because of preparation and because this first leg is very much an overall leg. I think this time we could be in for something different. We've got some very even boats in this race, and of course you never know until you get to Galway at the finish whether you're going to live or ruin the history.
Quickly is normally what I find best. It is tough, but I guess it's probably a little bit easier this time than the last race when I didn't even know what I was letting myself in for, let alone my family. So we'll get it out of the way quickly. It's been a fun day for the kids. They've been in the radio studio with me, they've met Zinedine Zidane with me, and as long as I give them lots of balloons and posters and they get some sweets, they'll be happy. I think Iker Martinez summed it up best in the press conference when he said, it depends, it's not just who wins this leg, it depends how they win it. If we finish third because we made a little tactical decision at the end and could have won, then we're going to end up very happy. Well, we won't be that happy, which we want, but what I mean by that is that what you don't want is for somebody to go and blow the barn doors off on this leg and arrive in Cape Town, say in second place, knowing that someone's got an edge on you in a number of conditions. That would be like we got a long year ahead. So it really depends how the leg plays out. Well, we've had our eyes open the last month while we've been here, so I think we have a pretty good idea what the other boats are carrying, and I think all the details are important, but I think the masthead spinnaker is the most important detail, especially with the downwind sailing on this leg. So I know for a fact that ourselves, the Sanya, are on one end of the extreme, and probably all the other competitors are at the other end. So for sure we're going to see some difference in performance.
It's definitely not easy, especially with the kids, with the little kids on the team, the guys with the little kids. Unfortunately, my little kid is grown up and in high school as we speak, but even that, the last phone call, it's always hard. We're as ready as we're going to be. Now this is a way to prove whose plan was right. I think all those boats at the dock, there's really been no last-minute panicking or crazy work lists that you see up and down the row. So everybody's ready, and now we get to do what we came for. Well, this is the proving ground, typically, historically, of the boats that have had their act together. I think you learn a lot about some aspects of the boats on this leg, but you don't learn about all. This leg tends to be a little bit of windward lured, a lot of downwind sailing and a lot of upwind sailing. So hopefully we get some reaching in, so then at the end of this leg I can tell you, hey, we know a lot about the boats, but you just never know until you see what's out there.
Decided the winner, but
I don't know how many surprises there can be. The one thing that hasn't been talked about a lot, I think, is the sails, and this new sail rule and elimination of a couple sails has certainly kind of breeded some different looking sails from boat to boat. So, I have a feeling everybody's going to be pulling out their new big sails now, and we'll see those for the first time, and we'll get a good idea who's going to be quick in certain conditions and who may not be. Yeah, of course it is, because it's to say it can never be, it can never be a nice sea breeze, 15 knot, beautiful sunny day. It always has to be some sort of low pressure system rearing its ugly head. So I guess it's just a sign of things to come. Well, tonight you're going to have to get into it right away, because actually getting out of the Med quickly is very important. There's really about a small gate of trade winds right down the African coast, and if you don't get into that little train, you're going to have to cut across and go out and search for a breeze way offshore. So I think the fleet desperately wants to try to get out of the Med quickly, and with that, it could be a pretty reasonable trip for the next several days. Don't kill the guys.
We think that we're pretty well prepared. We've been training for this, and we think we are very, very good today. So now it's time to see where we are. Well, it's very important to go out of the Med quick, no? Because the Med is a place where everything can happen. So we want to go out fast and soon, and then the really race starts. No? So it's important to go out fast, but it's much more important to be good in in Cape Town. So it's very important, this leg. It's very important because we're going to see how the other boats are and where we are compared to the others. So even more important than the result is to have good conclusions, or especially to see if you can dare to play at the end of the race. No? So I think that's why everyone is a little bit nervous, no? Because everyone has afraid of maybe see that you're not good enough. No? But I think it's going to be good, and I hope everything is going to go well. But it's always very hard to go out from home, no? for a race like this. So as we know, it's going to be 9 months around the world, and starting at home then makes this moment a little bit more difficult, no? But at the same time, it's good. So yeah, it's I don't know. It's special. It's special to have everyone here, all the sponsors, all the families, a lot of people coming here to support us, to give us good luck. So that's pretty nice to see.